You're not prepared for this one, honey. Just when you thought that the drama between Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin could get any messy, another bombshell has been dropped. And believe me, this one is going to rock the entire world of love and hip-hop. Imagine this. Chrissy Lampkin, who supported Jim Jones through financial drama, public humiliation, and cheating scandals, was thrown out of the house like yesterday's trash, and the person behind it. You won't believe it, honey, but it was Jim Jones's own Joseph. Yes, the same Joseph who has been portraying Goodson for years finally lost it. From what I've heard, it wasn't just a heated argument. After all these years of witnessing the chaos, Joseph reportedly put his hands on Chrissy and literally threw her out of the house. But why did Joseph lose it? What finally got to him? Oh, the tea I'm drinking is hot. Listen to what led to this violent confrontation. Oh, honey, if you thought that Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin's relationship was messy before, get ready for a whole new level of chaos right now. This time, Jimson Joseph Guo is at the center of the drama, and trust me, he finally snapped in the most shocking way imaginable. As soon as you hear why Joseph lost it, you'll need to sit down and allow me to explain the situation. Chrissy, who had supported Jim Jones for more than 15 years, was slapped and thrown out of the house like trash, and the person responsible, oh honey, it wasn't Jim Jones, was his own son, Joseph. Yes, you heard correctly, the same Joseph, who had been the quiet, respectful one for years, finally lost his. Let's take a moment to go back in time. If you've been following Jim and Chrissy's relationship over the years, you already know that it's been a roller coaster ride from hell, from cheating rumors to money problems to that messy proposal that never turned into a wedding. Chrissy has experienced. It wasn't just some random outburst from what I'm hearing. Oh no, honey, there's a whole backstory to this, and I promise you'll be left shaken once you hear what triggered Joseph. It all, and Joseph, remained in the background while his father repeatedly mistreated Chrissy. However, things really heated up a few months ago when it was rumored that Jim had been having an affair with Brooke Bailey. Yes, the same reality star who has been making waves in the love and hip-hop world for all the wrong reasons. And Chrissy, she wasn't going to take this one lying down. According to reports, Chrissy and Jim had been fighting behind closed doors over Brooke. Chrissy was reportedly furious after discovering messages between Jim and Brooke that said things like, "Hey, how are you?" and "We're not talking friendly." Oh, these were late night, I miss you and come through type of messages. Yes, it was bad, and Joseph saw it all. He watched Chrissy confront Jim and saw Jim attempt to gaslight Chrissy into thinking it was all in her. He witnessed Jim sneaking off to business meetings that coincided with Brooke's vacation schedule, and let me tell you, Joseph was not pleased. However, it wasn't until Chrissy went too far that Joseph lost it. Last week at Jim's house, Chrissy confronted Jim after learning that he had been spotted with Brooke once more. According to insiders, Chrissy wasn't just angry, she was out for blood. Joseph, who had been sitting in the next room trying to ignore the chaos, finally had enough and entered the room, stood between Chrissy and his father, and told Chrissy to calm down. She was yelling, throwing things, and demanding answers when she arrived at the house. Jim was attempting to calm her down, but Chrissy, oh honey, was not hearing him. She allegedly began breaking glasses and tearing up furniture. Down and Chrissy. She was not going to follow orders from a child of about 20. She allegedly got up in Joseph's face, pointed at him and said, "This is between me and your father. Stay the hell out of it." Joseph, seeing red, reportedly slapped Chrissy across the face hard. Yes, you heard correctly. Joseph slapped Chrissy across the face, and it was so loud that it echoed, according to insiders. After Chrissy was slapped, Joseph reportedly pointed toward the door and said, "Get the hell out." At first, Chrissy thought he was kidding, but Joseph was dead serious. He reportedly walked over to the door, opened it, and said, "If you don't leave now, I'll make you leave." Chrissy staggered back through the house, holding her cheek in shock, and Jim reportedly just stood there with his mouth hanging open. Still clutching her face in shock, Joseph wasn't playing games. He allegedly took Chrissy's purse, threw it onto the lawn, and said, "That's your last warning." According to sources, Chrissy had no choice but to leave, stumbling out of the house, with tears streaming down her face and standing on the sidewalk in shock. Jim, on the other hand, reportedly remained silent and simply watched as everything happened, and Joseph locked the door. I have some receipts, and when you hear what I'm about to tell you, you'll understand exactly why Joseph lost it. It turns out that Chrissy was keeping some secrets of her own. And trust me, They're even messier than Jim's cheating scandal. This is the part that has everyone talking, though. Why did Joseph finally snap? Why did he suddenly turn on Chrissy after years of remaining silent? If you're still in shock over the fact that Jim Jones's son, Joseph Gmo, apped Chrissy's lamp and ejected her from the house, buckle up, because the truth about why Joseph snapped is even messier than you could have imagined. Oh, how could you and Chrissy do this? She didn't even attempt to deny it, allegedly saying, "You've been doing it to me for years? I was just giving you a taste of your own medicine." Joseph reportedly retaliated, saying that sleeping with Dad's business partner was the solution. Chrissy, however, reportedly looked him in the eye and said, "Yes, I did," which is when Jim reportedly lost it and threw the phone across the room. Joseph, oh honey, reportedly turned to his father and said, "Like I tried to warn you, this is where it gets even messier because, according to insiders, this wasn't the first time Chrissy had been caught creeping." Oh no. Joseph reportedly had evidence that after months of Chrissy's skulking, he allegedly told Jim, "You think this is the first time, Dad? She's been playing you 4 years and you were too blind to see it." Jim, oh honey, reportedly sat down on the couch and put his head in his hands, saying, "I don't even know who she is anymore." However, sources claim that Joseph wasn't finished yet, telling his father, "You need to cut her off now." Jim, on the other hand, is already speaking with his lawyers. This is where things get complicated, though, because from what I've heard, Joseph wasn't just protecting his father. He was protecting something much bigger. When you hear what it is, you'll understand exactly why Joseph finally lost it. But hold on to that thought, because this story is far from over. Who is this mystery man that Chris has been creeping with? Why was Joseph so involved in this situation? When Joseph SLA slapped Chrissy and threw her out, everyone thought that was the climax. But honey, that was only the beginning. What happened? After Chrissy was thrown out is even more shocking, because let me tell you, the fallout from this scandal didn't just affect Jim and Chrissy. It's threatening to tear down Jim's entire empire. If you thought part 2 was messy, buckle up, because part 3 is about to blow your mind. According to people familiar with the matter, Joseph wasn't finished yet. He wasn't only upset about Chrissy's betrayal. He was also upset about the potential financial consequences for Jim because of the business partner that Chrissy was allegedly having an affair with. Chrissy was standing on the sidewalk, humiliated and furious after Joseph revealed her affair with Jim, who was sitting on the couch with his head in his hands. He wasn't just some random acquaintance, though. He was allegedly one of the main investors in Jim's real estate empire. Yes, honey, Chrissy wasn't just playing with Jim's emotions. She was also playing with his money. Joseph allegedly warned Jim that if were to come to light, he might lose everything, and Jim was already on the brink of losing everything. He reportedly got up, grabbed his phone, and began phoning his lawyers. But Joseph, he was already ahead of him, according to insiders. Joseph had been investigating for weeks and had suspected Ed Chrissy was having an affair with this business partner for some time, but he didn't realize how serious it was until he saw the receipts. Joseph allegedly told Jim that he needed to break off contact with him right away, because if he didn't, it would blow up in his face. Jim knew Joseph was correct, according to sources, and he called his company right away to begin terminating any partnerships related to Chrissy's mystery man and honey. This is where things became even more complicated because, according to insiders, the business partner, who is allegedly Freddie G, wasn't going to go down without a fight. Freddie allegedly called Jim the following day and threatened to file a lawsuit, claiming that Chrissy had promised him a share in Jim's company, and that if Jim tried to stop talking to him, he would sue for breach of contract. Yes, honey, Chrissy did not just cheat. She allegedly used her connection with Freddie to get him involved in Jim's business dealings. Now that the truth is out, Freddie is allegedly demanding his cut or else, and that's not even the worst part. Sources claim that Freddie is holding on to something that could ruin Jim's career. Video evidence of Chrissy and him together, and based on what I've heard, it's that Freddie allegedly told Jim that if he tried to cut him off, he would leak the video. Yes, honey, it's a full-on blackmail situation, and Jim, oh honey, was prepared to fight. Insiders claim that Jim told Freddie that if you try to leak that video, you're going to regret it. However, this is where things get really ugly because it seems like Chrissy was aware of the video and was counting on it. According to insiders, Chrissy told Freddie, If Jim tries to cut you off, drop the video and let him suffer. Chrissy wasn't just eating. She was actively planning to harm Jim. When Joseph discovered this, he reportedly called Chrissy and said, "You really think you're going to play my father like that?" Chrissy reportedly wasn't even fazed and told Joseph, "I gave your father 15 years." Joseph allegedly fired back, saying, "You didn't give him 15 years. You used him for 15 years, and Chrissy said, "Oh, honey, so what if he used me too?" Insiders claim that Joseph then lost it, calling Freddie directly and telling him, "If you leak that video, you'll regret it." Freddie, however, wasn't backing down, telling Joseph, "If I go down, I'm taking your father with me, and that's what that's about." When things went in a direction that nobody anticipated, Joseph allegedly called VH1 and said, "Yes, honey," adding that he had evidence that Chrissy had been cheating with Freddie for more than a year, and that Jim had been aware of it the entire time. Joseph reportedly told VH1, "You want a storyline? I've got one." And VH1, "Oh, honey," they were ready to jump on it. Insiders claim that VH1 is already planning a new story. They want Jim, Chrissy, and Joseph to sit down and discuss the scandal on camera in a special 2-part episode. Jim, "Oh, honey," is using it to his advantage, turning it into a redemption arc to rebuild his image, but Chrissy, "Oh, honey," isn't going to let that happen. According to reports, Chrissy told Jim, "If you go on camera and try to play the victim, I'm going to expose every." And Joseph allegedly told Chrissy, "You already exposed yourself, but here's where things get even messier." Sources claim that Chrissy is working with Freddie to get a separate deal with BET where they would give their side of the story. Yes, honey, this is going to turn into a full-on TV war, and Joseph is prepared for it. Joseph reportedly told his father, "You need to cut them off completely, no contact." No, Jim reportedly agreed to stop business dealings and phone calls. But this is the part that has everyone talking. Joseph is allegedly getting ready to file a restraining order against Chrissy and Freddie. Yes, honey, a restraining order. Joseph reportedly told his father, "She's dangerous. She's already tried to ruin you financially. The next time, it could be worse." Jim reportedly listened, according to insiders, and Jim has already cut off Chrissy financially. Chrissy, "Oh, honey," is furious. According to insiders, she is already threatening to sue Jim for emotional damages and wants half of his business. Joseph, on the other hand, is unconcerned. Sources claim that Joseph told his father that she would not receive any money. And Jim nodded and said, "Let her try." However, if you believe this is the end, you're mistaken. I've heard that Freddie is still holding on to that video, and if it leaks, it could ruin Jim's career forever. What will happen next? Will Freddie leak? Will Chrissy sue Jim, and will Joseph be able to save his father's empire? One thing is certain, though, this story is far from over. The internet will go crazy when that video drops, so I must ask, did Joseph go too far by slapping Chrissy and dismissing her, or was he merely shielding his father from further betrayal? And let's not forget about Freddie. Do you think he's actually going to release that video and ruin Jim's career, or is he just feigning to get his share of the company? And Chrissy, does she deserve a piece of Jim's empire after everything that has transpired, or is she merely playing the victim? The real question is, what will Jim do next? Will he actually cut Chrissy off good, or will Chrissy and Freddie pull off the ultimate retaliation and reveal Jim's dirty laundry to the world? Oh, honey, the stakes have never been higher, and based on what I've heard, this drama is far from over. You already know how it works, so you can be sure that I'll be back with all the juicy details as soon as that video drops. If you want to, stay up to date and get all the inside scoop. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications, because believe me, you won't want to miss the next chapter of this story. Oh, honey, if you thought this was messy, wait until you see what happens next. I can assure you that it will be explosive. Stay tuned, family, because you already know that I'll have all the exclusive details when this next bombshell drops. Tell me in the comments below which side you support, Joseph's, Chrissy's, or Jim's. Comment section, and I'll see you in the following one.